Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 102, and today we're going to be doing battle with Ramp Aurelion Soul. And so this is a fun little deck. You know, we're on the last day of the initial World Walker patch. The new patch should be dropping a few hours after this video comes out, and so I feel like the meta is kind of done. There's going to be a big shakeup coming up in the upcoming days, and so let's just get out here and have some fun games. And there's nothing funner for us or our opponents, I'm sure, than playing a turn 4 Targon's Peak with a turn 5 Aurelion Soul. Just feels ultra good to just come forth and cheat in that fashion. And so, with this deck list, the things that we're kind of like looking at here, and the things that may appear odd to you, we're not playing Blighted Ravine. The idea behind that is if we play the way we want the game to go, to where we have a ramp spell on turn 3, whether or not that be either Catalyst of the Aeons or Faces of the Old Ones sticking around. We want to be playing Targon's Peak on turn 4, and there just aren't really too many sequences that involve fitting a Blighted Ravine in. And so that one didn't make the cut. That does allow us to just go big over top of that. And so we do have the large collection of 8+ cost spells. We're running the full collection of She Who Wanders, Infinite Mind Splitter, and If That Stares. We're playing the full collection of Feel the Rush. And then as our kind of removal package in the mid game, we're running both Icequake and Buried in the Ice. The tools that we have to help us get us there are very limited, right? We're only playing Harsh Winds and Avalanche to kind of control the early game, and we are pretty big and all in on hitting the ramp themes, either be that ideally a turn 4 Targon's Peak, or some kind of combo draw to where we do a Catalyst of the Aeons into a Voices of the Old Ones. We don't have a ton of early game stuff, to try to limit our opponents and what they're doing, and so we're just trying to go big and go fast as we can, as we would classically hear from everyone's favorite NASCAR driver, Ricky Bobby. I just want to go fast. And so, with that being that, let's come in, go ahead and give our deck the upgrade that it needs for the pay-to-win price. And I was very surprised that we haven't actually upgraded Avalanche. I think that just kind of speaks volumes about the decks that I like to play. Having this card that's been in the game since Foundations, a card that's always been relevant in Expedition, and it just never catching the premium treatment. I think that's pretty wild that it's made it this far. But hey, it's been done. It's ready to go. The price has been paid, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic addition to our deck today. So, on our way in, let's get to battles. All right, up against the old sea monsters. Let's see who can do dumb stuff faster. I'm willing to bet it's us. But this is kind of one of these awkward games where things like She Who Wanders and If That Stares probably aren't going to be super strong. But here, I'm going to mulligan for ramp. That's going to be the big thing we're looking for in every game, but also specifically against sea monsters, since they don't have any way to come at us quickly. And so we hit it kind of perfectly here with the Catalyst of the Aeons on turn 3. We can still drop a Zoe and get the Catalyst going, and then we'll have Targon's Peak on turn 4. With a draw like this, I'm fine to just trade out Zoe, right? She's not going to be generating a bunch of spells. We're not out here playing some kind of value game. She can just come down, trade, prevent that damage, and then help us get to the Targon's Peak round. Oh, how bad is this if he just passes? Oh, it's his chance. It's chance to boom us. That could have been actual disaster if opponent decided, "LOL, watch this. I'm just going to pass," and then we wouldn't have had the Targon's Peak for next turn. Ooh, I don't know. I think like since we're down here battling in the normals, it's probably okay. But I think if we are up in our diamond games or masters games, you probably have to give some pause there before you skip to try and get the big value. Oh, my dude, that's not the way this is supposed to be. All right, well, let's draw a landmark. Do we actually want to go for the landmark? I don't super want two Targon's Peaks in our hand. I guess hanging on to Divergent Paths isn't going to really get us anywhere, though. And then this is a pretty low value harsh winds, but I'm still going to go ahead and drop it in the middle of combat here. I don't want this being hit next turn as well. So we're trying to maximize our chances of hitting these cards out here to the left. All right, but pretty big turn. It's like even if we, say, miss on Aurelion Soul, then we can still drop Buried in the Ice this turn. We have the spell mana banked up to start doing cool things, but nothing cooler than dropping Aurelion Souls, am I right? LOL. And so I'm leaning towards just picking up the Scourge here. He doesn't have Spell Shield, though. That's the only thing that's giving me a bit of pause. Maybe we do come in and just take the Great Beyond. Just play around cards like Vengeance a little bit. Okay. Dude's dropping Vile Feasts. I don't fully approve of that, but I think it's okay. And then he's gonna like really struggle with actually dealing damage to us next turn. Like I like even if we say drop a second Targon's Peak, he's 23 out, so he needs to go 8 cards into his deck for deep, and he's only got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage on board. I think we can be like a little greedy with this Buried in the Ice. Vengeance? Oh, Riptide? Sure. That's not an attacking unit, right? Place that unit into the deck. Okay. Pretty sure we still feel the same way this turn, and so we can add the Targon's Peak. Double up on a couple of cards here. He's only got 1 left in hand, and so I think we're pretty okay. He milled 2 away. All right, let's see how it goes. Hit the Buried in the Ice and then the She Who Wanders. Excellent. Take 10. You got me. Rip. See ya. LOL. Feels good. Feels good. I told you all this was going to feel good. Oh, and that reminds me, I watched a real feels-good movie last night. I don't know how many people would be familiar with this at this point. The age bracket of the people that watch my content is a little higher than across the board. And so I watched this movie. It's called Coyote Ugly. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Came out in the year 2000. I remember it heavily. This was at like the height of the MTV era, and it really feels like someone at MTV was like, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We want to make a porno with a soundtrack, okay? But it has to be sold to teenagers, right? So you can't make a full-on porno because then the kids can't purchase it. But, you know, if you can get some titties out there jiggling, if you can have some scantily clad hot ladies, that would be fantastic. They should be doing lots of gyrating and stuff. And then, you know, we're going to put a soundtrack to it so we can start selling this as well. And that's pretty spot on with what it was. The plot, fairly non-existent. You know, you've got a small town girl traveling to New York to hit it big, and then to help support her hit it big dreams, she becomes a bartender at the Coyote Ugly bar, where their thing is dancing on the bar while scantily clad. Now, you know, kind of is what it is in terms of plot, not expecting much. But the thing with me is, like, number one, I worked in a bar for 2 years, and that's what I did when I was in graduate school. I just worked the door. But you know, they are just like setting the bar on fire. Absolutely not. Then, like, in between selling drinks, these girls are getting up there and dancing. Just like, absolutely not. They're letting customers get on top of the bar. Absolutely not. Like, this is just like the biggest insurance liability I've probably seen in my entire life. And it's just the kind of core tenet to the movie. And I was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. But it's like, even if you're going to push all that aside, the next thing that kind of really got me was like if you ever go and just watch any of these people that dance a lot, like just say take like the halftime show at the Super Bowl for example, like you're running out here and these people are doing serious dancing like nonstop. They are like drenched in sweat after like 5 to 10 minutes, and these are all people in like peak levels of fitness. And it's like these girls are up here just like dancing and shit. They're barely like not breathing hard whatsoever. Nobody's sweaty. I was like, this shit is just so unrealistic. Like, I would love to see these girls out here just pounding drinks, trying to stand on top of the bar for a while. It's like, absolutely not. This is the unrealistic piece of the movie to me. And I don't think I can handle it. But I made it through. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Like you usually pick up a movie like that, and you're just like, "Oh wow, this is going to be, this is going to be bad." But maybe it'll be so bad it's good. But this was just like above that a little bit. It like wasn't so bad that it was bad, but it also wasn't like, I'm not entertained enough to really enjoy it. It was in like a really odd space for me. But you know, that entertainment value wasn't. You could have definitely done worse. But here, back to the game, back to the action, back to what you all actually care about. I think this is actually going okay for a game against tokens. Like this is a pretty terrible matchup, and for us to come out and get this like double Ithit stairs is pretty strong. We've just taken care of his Green Glade duo, taken care of his Azir. He does have these flawless duets in hand and can still punch us for like 1,000,000 damage, but this is looking good. All right, so we can like flawless duet and then punch in all these blades, so we'll be taking a couple of points of damage here, but I think the hard part is over with. Okay. More blades coming at us. I assume he's going to attack with this giant sparring student, which we'll gladly trade with. And then we were looking pretty good here. Pretty good, if I may say so myself. Uh-oh. We hit the star chart, but that's okay. Got him. Got him. Nice. Yeah, I was probably thinking about watching Coyote Ugly. Now, I'm fairly certain they may have made a second one. There might have been a sequel to that. I don't quite remember how that played out, but man, that was the height of the MTV era. Make something we can put a soundtrack to. Get the teenagers all hype about titties. Not bad, not bad. All right, what are we going to do here? I don't like these hands where we don't start with any cheap ramp. It seems like, a bit of a trap, seeing the voices of the old ones, so those are going to go. Here is where I'm a little questionable. I think the Bard deck should be slow enough. Like, he's playing Bard Udyr, and so it's like I'm going to envision these curves being like Bird into like the 2/2 that generates a stance into like something slow. And not one of these like high-powered curves you would see out of the Demacia deck, to where they're just blasting you with poppies and rallies. And so I think we can afford to just be like a little bit slower here and hold on to the divergent paths. But that was not a good mulligan into the Targon's Peak. A little sad, a little sad. Gotta go and turn on Coyote Ugly after this. take my mind off of how this game's going. Okay. It's gonna bank up the mana here. He's got a pretty sizable unit in hand, right? He's hit 2 chimes up to this point. If they hit on the same unit, then that's kind of a struggle for us. I don't think we're going to want to Harsh Winds this turn, but we might need to spend some mana. Okay. Didn't have to. Continue to stay banked. Get the Divergent Paths down. It's a little bit awkward sequencing in that we can't Harsh Winds on like turn 5, right? Turn 5, we're going to want to play Targon's Peak, but he's going to be able to just fully come at us because we can't Harsh Winds. At least one game has to be a disaster, right? But yeah, they got the new patch coming out. I make most of my videos in the morning. I wake up at 5 in the morning and go to the gym and come home and start making videos. But the Omen Hawk got me thinking. I don't remember when they came in and nerfed it from 3 allies to 2. But man, that one really caught me by surprise recently. I didn't realize that he had been weakened so much. Wonder if he'll ever get the boost to try and get Freylord a little bit back in the action, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for this patch, though. I like it when if you like look at the patch. I can't remember the extent. There's like 40 cards that they're changing or something, but there's like 30 cards up at the top in the buff section, and then there's like 10 cards at the bottom down in the nerf section, and I think that's ultimately, a pretty great way to be going about things. Is if you released a set, you want it to be relevant, and then you kind of overtune it a little bit so things are a little bit more powerful, so the new cards have some relevance. And then you need to scale things back a little bit. I think that's completely fine. But then also, they didn't go overboard, and things didn't get too ridiculous, and so. I think they did a pretty good job with the new set. And, I like this kind of concept of let's not decrease what people are playing, what people really like. These decks that have come together, let's not make those like super weaker. We might need to tone something down, but let's try not to nerf it to oblivion. But then on the flip side, they're also elevating cards that aren't seeing play. So I think they've actually done a really wonderful job. With all of their buffs and nerfs and the handling of it. All right, well, time to get on board at least at some point here. So let's just go ahead and try and ace his big units for the moment. This is going to have to be a turn for Targon's Peak. Our mana, again, is working poorly. But with double Harsh Winds, I'm feeling reasonably okay for next turn. Got double Harsh Winds, double Targon's Peaks. His 2 big units minus Udyr have been dealt with. We have a Harsh Winds to deal with Udyr. It's like, regardless of what our Targon's Peak hits, we'll be able to Harsh Winds the Udyr. And I think we're in pretty good shape now. We're in pretty good shape to double Feel the Rush. What a sad day when we only get the opportunity for 3 champions instead of all 4. Life is tough. All right, do the dance. Make them KDA noises. God, this dancing, it's got me thinking of got me thinking of Coyote Ugly again, and some of the side characters in there. If you're familiar with the classic movie Office Space, the guy that informs Peter that Lumbergh fucked her, the blonde guy, he had a space in Coyote Ugly, and then Dee from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia had a minor role in there. She was doing the bidding on Piper Perabau's boyfriend. And then there was also weird thing with like Johnny Knoxville and some other dude that I recognized from some of those late '90s, early 2000s movies. But they got the full MTV crowd in there. It was like they were just missing Seth Green, and they would have had everybody. LOL. We won that game. That was pretty fun, wasn't it? I bet that guy had fun. I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling about it, but nice. Okay, on to the next one. Good little start. Off to a good 3-0 start here. Oh. Oh, some mirror match action, huh? Okay. Okay. Let's see who can pull this off. And so this is like kind of interesting in terms of what cards we would actually want to keep, given that if our opponent plays Targon's Peak, it kind of helps us. If we play Targon's Peak, it might kind of help them as well. I think we want to hang on to the ramp and the Catalyst of the Aeons. But then if we had, say, either Aurelion Soul or Feel the Rush, we would hang on to them. But these other ones aren't that good here, right? Like in this mirror match, a lot of these units are just going to be big units. But we want our opponent to say, like, play Targon's Peak and then hit our Feel the Rush. Old Bust's favorite card ever made, Faces of the Old Ones, the high roll monster. Fucking hate this thing. Fucking hate it. It's not so bad and constructed. Like, we've really designed our deck to work with this ability. But man, did I hate Faces of the Old Ones in Expedition. It's just so tough to like assemble a deck that had a reasonable number of expensive cards that just didn't get completely domed if you didn't draw your ramp. And then it was there wasn't enough like card generation. There wasn't enough trundles out there to bring forth the 8-cost card generation. So if you wanted to get the big spells in your deck, you were just kind of stuck with those bad ones with trying to get there. It was tough. We would lose to it on occasion and just get super salty, but it's kind of nice that that's not a part of this world anymore. How do we feel about this? It's like I'm half tempted to just Buried in the Ice away as Weirding Stones. We can start playing 8-cost units next turn. I can't. That can't be the way to do it, right? Let's go with the Mind Splitter. Like, it's not great here, but I want to play Feel the Rush next turn, right? We're getting lined up for it. I don't want to AoE and take away our ramp, and so this feels like the safest way to go about it. Now, in terms of this board, he can start playing stuff like Avalanche that'll kill our Infinite Mind Splitter. I don't really care. You know, if he trades out the Eclipse Dragon and then plays an Avalanche, that's fine. He didn't go the value route though. He went the cheap dragon route. Is he gonna Aurelion Soulless this turn? Feel the Rush. I got one of those. Ours is currently better than his, in my opinion. His Trundle isn't flipped, and then our Zoe is going to have Elusive, and so we have a little bit better options than they do. But I have to realistically imagine we're just going to both end up passing and having flipped Aurelion Souls next turn. I guess one angle we could have taken would have been to just go ahead and Buried in the Ice, so that he's stuck with just the 10/10 Aurelion Soul. But I don't like it. Thinking about something. Making the big decision on the attack here. Hope you're ready to roll the dice as we come into this big Aurelion Soul turn. Oh, wow. Are you serious? Do we give up on our ramp? Like, he's not playing Shadow Isles. He can't hit us with Atrocity, but wow. Wow, he's giving up on his Aurelion Soul. That just seems insane to me. Huh. We can still play She Who Wanders next turn. if we don't pass up on our play here. I think that's fine. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I do love an audience.
Okay. So not the strongest, but I'm like content to just pass here. I think we're even pretty safe if he's like plays something small and then banks into Feel the Rush. Like we're gonna have our flipped Aurelion Soul. That's the thing that I care about the most right now.
And I thought humans were stupid.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens.
I'm the forger of stars.
Nothing could go wrong here now. Nothing. I guess interestingly enough, as well as we played that She Who Wanders, we picked off his Ice Pillar. It's not something I took a lot of consideration into in the previous turn, but it's a real possibility. Oh, we lost our Golden Sister as well. Yeah, it's probably okay. It's probably fine. So our path to victory is just playing Buried in the Ice, right? I think what we'll be looking to do is just play a Harsh Winds this turn, and like we want to try and hit Aurelion Soul plus Trundle with Harsh Winds. The Aurelion Soul one is gonna fall, and then next turn we can look to just Buried in the Ice his whole team. I think that's how we want to go about it. Can't Equinox the Aurelion Soul. That was intentional. Trying to just wait and see if he'll do something. I would like to get a Harsh Winds in here. Are we going to have to just preemptively do this? I think it's fine. So it'll pop the Spell Shield on Aurelion Soul. Oh, we're just dead, aren't we? We can block with the Mind Splitter. Okay. Uh-oh. I bet we're just dead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, our roll on the flipped Aurelion Soul. I guess he got to pick and choose his. He played the second Aurelion Soul, but us hitting Equinox and him hitting Living Legends doesn't feel like the fairest of sequencing. Oh shit, I fucked up my video thing. Here we go. I think it's all better now. Okay, is this Viego? I missed the champions. Kindred and Senna. Alright. Well, same kind of deal. I'm going to hang on to Faces of the Old Ones, look for some more early game stuff, plus Targon's peak style things to do. We've got a double ramp draw, not bad. I don't know how much like faith we should put into the Faces of the Old Ones. It should be like kind of easy for them to kill, but I guess not on this turn, right? So we should be pretty safe to go Faces into Catalyst of the Aeons. Never blocking, though. Not going to lose this guy to a Ravenous Flock. Oh, and he just doesn't attack? That was generous. All right, well, we get this full mana bank now. I don't think we'll really be able to take advantage of it this turn, but this is kind of nice. Not gonna Ice Quake this. Like, if he comes in and kills a unit, So like we're gonna lose both of them, then sure we'll ice quake, but I don't feel like it was gonna be necessary there. This could be bad though if he has like Vile Feast, Ravenous Flock. Okay, all right, we're safe now. I'm leaning towards the Infinite Mind Splitter. It's like it's almost tempting just to play Catalyst to the Aeons and get our Aurelion Soul going, but I think that's probably a little bit on the greedy end of the spectrum.
You could say I got a life with
Noxians are not the monsters they make us out to be.
Alright, well, we're going to have to start doing something about this board. It's like I'm a little hesitant to Ice Quake. That might be the angle. We could just play Ithid Stairs. Just we're in this spot where we're going to lose both of our ramp units. And we're coming up on this Aurelion Soul turn next turn. For fast spells, slow spells, skills have when I damage a stunned or damaged enemy, kill it. So the darkness is going to kill our Infinite Mind Splitter. Okay. I guess we could look to just be dropping Targon's Peak. Maybe I'm on board with that. Let's pass. If he just passes back to us, that's really good. I assume he's going to darkness the Mind Splitter. Right.
eyes forward.
For Kyanvi.
Darkness and light.
Okay, so we'll take 3 off of this. Manageable. Now let's see what we can do. Big time plays, big time things, I am sure. It is like a little scary in that he can still kill our... Well, no, he won't have the damage on the Ithid Stairs yet. He needs to damage a damaged unit. And so... Okay, that's fine. We're like already ramped to max anyways. It's not a big deal to lose our Targon's Peak. And it's like, I wonder if we should have just blown up the conservatory to keep him from getting the Tybalak. He has just so many high-powered units on board. We're going to get like a 5-for-1 off of this dragon, even if he has the kill for it. I think that's completely fine. And now we just get to be like, LOL, Aurelion Soul. He does get Tybalak, though. A little scary. We got any good ones in here? It's another one where I'm leaning towards the Great Beyond, just as a means to get a spell shield on the board. Is like the Great Beyond that much different from the Destroyer, though? And then the Destroyer is just a little bit cheaper? Alright, we'll take the Great Beyond. I'm not sure about that one, though. We'll block. Block the old Tybalak. If he needs to spend like 3 spells to take down Aurelion Soul, that's a win. Sure. Got another one in hand. Like he's down to 3 cards, 4 cards with darkness. We gotta try and punch something through. Cool. That works for me. Very good chance we get a flip now.
Now they'll pay attention. My magnum opus.
Why didn't you get a bunch of bonuses?
We are
He should be a 9/8, right? Okay. Whatever. Sure. Again, we're still pretty okay. This would be a great board to just drop a Buried in the Ice on, or we'll see what they bring forth, but I'm not too scared at this point. An open attack is fairly scary, though. Probably just got to prevent it. We already have a supernova. Like, probably go with the Living Legends. I don't think the plus stats matters that much here. Okay. Moonsilver, surprisingly interesting. What can we do here? Like, I am looking at just dropping Supernova on these Lord Broadmains. It's like a pretty good chance that we're just going to lose our Aurelion Soul in the process, but that does let us... well, I guess the thing is, if we're going to play Supernova, we might as well just play Buried in the Ice, right? So we'll try to play around slow spells. Again, I'm like 75% plus certain we're just going to lose our Aurelion Soul here. But getting these units off the board for 2 turns really goes a long way in terms of getting the Great Beyond into being a lethal. So whatever he does here, it's fine. I'm looking like this turn to just play Moonsilver onto Targon's Peak so that we can start trying to drop 2 big spells and get this game ended. We're in this kind of awkward space to where it's like, okay, we play a 10, we play a 10, we play a 10, we play a 10, but then we can't do 2 things in the same turn. The Targon's Peak will let us do those 2 things. Even if it's just hitting Catalyst to the Aeons, it's pretty decent. Okay. You're safe for the moment. No landmark destruction coming at you. Oh, the landmark destruction would have been huge here. Also tagging his catalog. Oh, man. Sure. You're not long for this world, Great Beyond. Hey, we did hit the Catalyst to the Aeons, the card we were talking about. Not the greatest hit, but we could do worse. He has the Go Hard in hand. He's going to use to kill the Great Beyond. Do we want to just actually take these catalogs off of the board? I think I'm okay with that. He only has a slow spell, so he's not going to be able to like cancel this. We'll still always have the Behold. I guess we have this other Behold card in hand. All right, I think we're good. This is one of these situations where it's going to take us like 8 turns to win the game, but I think we're looking pretty strong at this point. He gets all his dudes back. We're going to get an Infinite Mind Splitter. You know, just kill all his stuff. That's pretty tempting as well. Well, I guess we can't kill it all. I assumed we had all the mana for that. All right, we'll get there eventually. it'll just take 5 or 6 more turns. Not a big deal.
One ghost down, thousands to go.
Senna's not a bad addition to the squad. We're definitely attacking. If he wants to block with Senna and then darkness down the Infinite Mind Splitter, that's just a gigantic win. Did that backwards, right? Your spells and skills and stuff when I damage. So now I guess he can just throw one of his broad mains in front of the Mind Splitter, but interesting angle. Like now he has to attack and get the darkness and everything. Yeah, he did not do that correctly. Okay, here's where things pop off, right? Finally, did we finally do it? Do we still have champions in our deck? Okay, Forger of Stars, I think we can finally do it now. Alright, so let's play some stuff. We'll drop this Buried in the Ice. Get his units out of the way. We'll put a Moonglow onto Zoe. We'll play the Living Legends to get all of the Celestials. He says, nah, I had enough, dog. I had enough. GG. All right. I thought that was gonna go in our favor. It just needed that extra 8 turns, right? It just takes a little bit longer sometimes. I don't know if I can take this much longer. If you notice, like in the video space, there's kind of like the orange glow to it now. Like I had to change some light bulbs, and they're like orange. It says that they're like white light or natural light or something. I don't know. What is this? General purpose soft white, but it's like fucking orange. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna make it the whole day. I think I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot on my lunch break and get some new light bulbs. So weird. Like I thought it just might have been something in my head, and then like I took a peek at the video thing and I was like, that's definitely fucking orange. It looks like the sun's coming in really bright through the window or something. I don't like it. I can't take it. These are the struggles I live with in life. I have to write a harsh critique of Coyote Ugly. I have this color of light bulbs that I don't really like. And then I have to kind of play meme decks the day before the patch comes out because the format doesn't matter anymore. And so it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know if anyone has it harder in life than I do. It's tough, man. All right, nice draw on the ramp spell. Get something going with Zoe. She's just gonna have to block next turn, but the ramp is good. We can get the Targon's Peak down. Hopefully good things are in our future. Perfect draw. But we're gonna have to hit this fast, right? We really need to be dropping the Ice Quake. I wonder if there's a world where we ever just try and bank 3 mana here, and then just Ice Quake next turn. Because otherwise, we have to hit it with the Aurelion Soul next turn, or we have to hit the Ice Quake with the Targon's Peak next turn, and that's, let's be real, that's probably not happening. So who does the most damage here? 3 damage guy? I guess Annie does 3 damage as well, since she'll be flipping in combat. but not a great place to be. Maybe he'll just pass. Ooh, if he doesn't attack with everything, that's great. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I recommend that, my dude. I don't know. I think we just caught a break. Still taking 5. It's a little unhealthy. Not playing Paddle Star. The next turn we can Ice Quake plus Zoe. Oh, it's a star chart. That's not a Zoe. That's okay, though. Should we play it and look for the 0-cost Celestial, though? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 7 mana next turn. 8. Well, we could probably play the Voices of the Old Ones. Oh, and he just doesn't play anything? I think I'm a little scared, because that's probably indicative of just a handful of burn. But... wow. How deep do we just try and go for this? We have to go for a unit, right? So we'll play the Serpent, we'll play the Targon's Peak, and then next turn we'll at least be able to play an 8-cost unit or an 8-cost spell. She Who Wanders would be the big hit here.
Threshold of something great. Embrace your fate as I have mine.
Okay. Not feeling good about this, but we definitely dodged a bullet on that previous turn. We'd be dead if we were taking that extra, like 5 or 6 damage last turn. What do we got? Another It That Stares. Okay. Let's see what we get off of this. Multiple treats. That's not cool. I did the analysis if that was cool. Came back not. Came back not cool. What up, Tibbers? Again, probably just dead. He had that really weird turn 2 turns ago where he just didn't play any cards, and that's not a good indicator in terms of of what's in your immediate future. But we got a shot. We got a couple extra turns in there to try and pull it off and turn it around. It just didn't come together. That's a pretty abysmal matchup for the ramp deck, especially when your only interactivity in the early game is 2 avalanches. That's okay. We almost got there. On to the tokens again. I feel like we got pretty lucky against the tokens earlier as well. But we got a Divergent Paths and a Catalyst of the Aeons. Gonna have to be good enough. Just it's ultimately so slow when you have to take this Divergent Paths route.
Ready, willing, and limp. And punch.
Okay. Wow, all the tools are turning up now.
Your emperor has returned. It is time.
That was Zero attack. Okay. Interesting. Alright, ramp cards, do your stuff. So what are we going to do here? We have 6 mana. I'm leaning towards just playing the Faces and the Divergent Paths, then we'll get a decision next turn as to whether or not we want to play the Targon's Peak or if it's going to be a little bit too slow. Most likely, it's going to be a little bit too slow. But this kind of sets us up as we roll into our next turn we can set up enough ramp to just start playing expensive spells, or start playing cards like Buried in the Ice, or we can't even say play Ithid Stairs to blow up landmarks to get rid of the 2 Emperor's Diaz's, and so we have some options. I like seeing an open attack, I think.
The Yordle here's with me.
Sweep the leg.
Like maybe he'll continue to do weird shit. You know? Maybe. We gotta lose out on our ramp at this point. Well, how greedy can we get with this, and then what do we actually want to get out of it, right? So if we assume that he doesn't have like another Blade Dance, because we can't beat another Blade Dance anyways, then we probably just want to play the Targon's Peak, right? That's gonna get us into like a 3 bank for the next turn, and then we can try and play 2 spells. So we block like this. Okay. Yeah. This also gets us around a Twin Disciplines play. So it's just like, ideally, we don't have to play Catalyst of the Aeons, but we may have to. Okay. Don't think we can get around this Flawless Duet. He gets 3 summons off of it. Okay. And 2, yep. Alright. Get out of here. Stop the animations, we're done. Okay, one last battle. Final one for the masses. Guaranteed to be a doozy. I hope you stuck around the whole way. I promise you we won't talk about Coyote Ugly anymore. Let's see if we can make it through this Teemo match. Alright, well, we're going to hang on to the Targon's Peak. Would like to find a Zoe. Zoe, as you can tell, is capable of blocking a Teemo. This is just another horrible start. Dang. That's what happens when you play the high roll deck, though. you gotta roll with the punches as you're trying to play this thing. No turn 1 Teemo, though. That's kind of nice. Okay, okay. Seems like opponent did not have a great start. What are we gonna do? Is I play Caitlyn? Yeah. Okay. I did the analysis on that play. It returned. Don't care. Do not care. Ooh, extra good. Love seeing an open attack happen. Oh, guess we technically... Well, he hasn't seen that Targon's Peak. He just knows we have a landmark in our hand. Maybe should have played that one, but... Okay. So things like the Voices of the Old Ones, I'd like to play, you know, kind of immediately or never. As he's starting to load us up with all these puff caps, right? We either want to get it down right now so we don't have to draw a bunch of puff caps, or just accept we're not going to play a draw 4. Right, enjoy that. All right, that's enough. That's all it takes sometimes. You just come out and drop the She Who Wanders. GG. And so, not a bad collection of games. I had fun with this. I hope you had fun with it too. Again, as the patch comes out, the patch should be released. I think it usually comes out around noon or 1 o'clock at my time. I think it usually comes around like 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time, and so it should be out just a few hours after this video goes. And so if you need something else to watch, I'm planning on putting together a patch notes review thing once the patch notes are out. So that would be something I could do this evening, and so that might be out here and give you something else to watch before the next set of games comes up. But yeah, always a slightly awkward moment right before the new patch comes out and completely shakes up the meta. But I had fun with it. I hope you had fun with it too. If you like to roll the dice onto the high end, or just drop these big plays, this is the best and, well, not the best way to go about it. I guess the Trundlemere deck is probably just better than this one, but the Trundlemere deck doesn't play Aurelion Soul, and so it doesn't have as nearly as many high value to big boom style plays as you can get out of this one. But nonetheless, I had a good time. Hope you had a good time as well, and that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video. You yourself learned to become a master of rolling high. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.